Good night, everyone. Just tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma Jill, Spirit Divine, also Unsolved Mission Divine. I'm here to give you the short news on tonight. Um, First, we're going to start with history. Honor Miss Bessie Coleman. You know, she's a black woman she was the first black woman to receive her pilot license. And this is her anniversary. So all black, all female American airline crew flies from Dallas to honor Miss Bessie Coleman. You know, so to honor of her 100th anniversary of Bessie Coleman, the first black woman to earn a pilot license. American Airlines to operate a flight out of Dallas with an all-black, all-female crew. So that's amazing. She was the first black woman to get a pilot license. And it's our 100th anniversary. So they had an all-black crew um, flew from Dallas to to honor her. So from the pilot and flight attendants to cargo team members and maintenance and technician, the women operate into charge of every aspect of the flight from Dallas to Philly. So you had women operating this there. Because Miss Bessie, she opened doors, for all women, who get, who thought they couldn't even do it, but now they see that a woman can operate a pilot also. So this is the last week to celebrate the anniversary of Miss Coleman earning her flight license um, from 1909 to 1991. Now she is bravely broke down the barriers within the world for many to follow to airline. And she have, she broke the barriers for anyone to follow. She opened doors, to honor Miss Coleman's legacy. Miss Coleman was born in Atlanta, but then she started living in Texas since 1892. She got her international pilot license, and Miss Coleman had died on April the 30th, 1926. She was 34 years old. She was really young. So preparing with another pilot for an air show that was to take place that day, at 300 3,500 feet. She was it was unsure range that got caught in a control gear that caused the plane to crash. And PBS reported, Coleman was not wearing a seatbelt and she fell to her death. That's how she had died. But we still honoring her. Because she opened doors. This black woman had opened doors for any woman that think they couldn't get no on pilot license. She opened doors and broke barriers down. That you can do anything as a woman. You could do anything you feel like you want to do. And this woman let everyone know. If she can do it, everyone else can do it. So PBS is a public broadcasting services. I also want to honor Miss Bessie, myself, for the first black woman to receive an international pilot license. She opened doors for all who think it was impossible, for a woman to get on pilot license, and especially for a black woman to receive it. So anything is not impossible, you know, especially when God is involved. If anything is possible, so anything that look impossible for you, take that leap. Like Miss Coleman did, she took that leap and she went for it. So anything you feel like y'all want to do, take that leap. Get out of your comfort zone and see if you can do it. And watch how things change. You know, so um, so that's the story on honoring Miss Bessie Coleman. This is a 100th anniversary. So now we're gonna talk about this seventh grade student that was attacked on the school bus. The seventh grade concussion after attack on the school bus. So the mother is speaking out after a violent situation on the school bus that give her son a concussion. So Kylie, his name Kylie, the seventh grade student, has said a kid threw a backpack at him that had two metal water bottles, you know, in it, and it left a big mark on his forehead. You know, so that was some heavy water bottles. So we don't know why he hit him with the bottles. But I can understand how the mother feel. You know, you send your child to school. We already had an incident that happened with that. Now you're sending your child on a school bus and your child get attacked. So it's understandable for a mother to feel a type of way because when you send your child to school or on the school bus, you want your child to be safe. You leave your child to somebody else's hands, and you don't expect for your child to come home with a big old mark on their forehead, you know. So I'm sorry to hear that your child had got attacked on that school bus. But I request they should have cameras on the school bus, for protection. You know, to see who is in wrong, who did what. You can track back cameras if the child started first. See how the situation happened, how it started. So too, all parents to talk to your children. Before they enter on the school bus. Because we're trying to control the violence that's on the bus. So one, I said have cameras on all the school buses, for the kids protection. So the mother can always rewind cameras back to find out who stole what and how the situation happened. Too, for all parents to talk to your child before they enter on the school bus. Because we're trying to control the violence that's on the bus or in the school. So please talk to your children about no violence on the school bus. You know, so everyone, parents will feel safe, you know, by sending your child to school and on the school bus. You know, okay, so that's the story on the seventh grade that got attacked on the school bus, left a big old mark on his forehead. Okay, so we gonna, it's all about the school buses now. So the school bus, we have another school bus that turned over. I talked to you yesterday about a school bus. So they have 8 students that was taken to the hospital after the school bus overturned, and this was in South Carolina. And the police were investigating. So sorry to hear this incident. I would pray for the 8 students that went to the hospital that I pray that they'll be okay. In the meantime, the police will be investigating. So yesterday I had just talked to you about the school bus. Talked to you about the school bus. That the school bus driver was arrested, for DUI. So day, the school bus went into a ditch with students on the bus. But thank God no one was hurt, And by one of the students had smelled the liquor on a school bus driver. That's how he had went. That's how he got arrested, because they had wind up and test him and find out that he was drinking and give him arrest him for DUI. So on yesterday incident, I request, to apply for a driver to drive a school bus. We will proceed a background check. We also will check and see if they ever was stopped by the police, for a DUI. You know, that way, if you been stopped for DUI, you cannot apply for the school bus. Because we have to make sure we have good drivers, that gonna be sober to drive these kids. Cause the kids, you have to be protected for these kids. So we have to be careful who are driving these school buses. Because you can, I understand things happen, but in that case, it was due to drinking. So we have to check, do a background check on these drivers, because we have to make sure they're safe for these kids, because they're going into a ditch, they overturning off the road, and they're not by themselves. They have a bus with kids on the bus, so we have to be careful for the safety of the kids. So there's two situations on the bus. One turned over, one overturned off the road, and one yesterday went into a ditch with students on the bus. So we talked about history. About we honoring Miss Bessie Coleman, 100, 100 anniversary. She was the first black woman to earn a pilot license. American Airlines had operated a flight out of, and then the crew had operated a flight out of Dallas, to honor her, to honor Miss Bessie Coleman. And this will be the last week they'll be celebrating her anniversary. So it's a blessing. She opened doors for all who think it was impossible for a black woman to achieve, pilot on license. It's just amazing that she opened up doors and she opened up boundaries. She broke all that. She broke all that chain. But any woman that come behind her and think it's impossible to get on pilot license, anything is not impossible. If you feel like you love to drive or you think you want to drive pilot, get out that comfort zone, and jump right into it, and see how it will work out for you. So that's the history we talk about Miss Bessie. 100 years is our anniversary, and this the last week that we'll be celebrating. We also talk about the seventh grade on the school bus. He got attacked on the school bus where they slung and hit him on his forehead with two big old metal bottles of water. Left a big old mark on his forehead. And the parent is concerned and she's speaking out where she have the right to speak out. You send your child to school one way and come back with a big mark on their forehead. So any mother have questions and wants to know, why her child got attacked on the bus. And I did have requests for cameras to be this across the nation for cameras to be on all the school buses. So we could track back and see who stole what and how the incident happened. And two, all parents, please talk to your children about no violence on the bus. Because we're trying to control the violence that's on the bus. And this request is for all across the nation. Who driving to school buses or who sending their child on the school bus. So we also talk about two situations that happened today news and yesterday news I recorded. The first one that they had 8 students on had been taken to the hospital because it was on a school bus and a driver overturned off the road. But the police will be investigating. And I just talked about the school bus on yesterday news that the school bus driver went into a ditch and come to find out he was under DUI. You know, so thank God that no one was hurt on that bus. And I had did request for to apply for a driver, the school bus. They will proceed a background check, to see if in the past that you ever got stopped for DUI and you will not be able to drive a school bus. So we have to be careful who is driving these school bus these days, because we have to be safe. You have to be safe for these kids. These kids is on the school bus. They're gonna be too scared to even get on the school bus. If they keep on having all these accidents like this here with the drivers. The children gonna be crying. They're gonna be scared. After a while they ain't gonna want get on the school bus. And then the mama have to go to work and she have to find some kind of way how to bring the children to school. So we have to be careful and have to come up with new rules for these school drivers that's driving these school buses. You know, so that's all the short news I have for you today. Y'all have a blessed night, and I will see y'all on the next video.